For self-identifying women, experiencing harassment in public is a problem that is on the rise. Just a fair warning to you, this next video we're going to share could be unsettling for some viewers.
But this man was very persistent and aggressive when he was trying to grab my attention or hit on me or whatever he was trying to accomplish.
There are videos like this all over social media. Statistics Canada says 1 in 3 women, 1 in 3, have been the target of unwanted sexual behavior in public spaces. It can include anything from vulgar comments, threats, and physical contact. Andrea Gunraj with the Canadian Women's Foundation joins us in studio with what happens after an assault and how people can begin their recovery. Welcome to your morning.
Thank you.
You know, we see women like that young woman on social media, and sometimes that is an outlet for them just to be able to feel like they can talk about it. Because often when it happens, you're such shock, you're expected to absorb it. But then what do you do after?
Oh, that's such a great question. Like, I'm so glad that we're talking not just about the problem, but also what's going to happen after. So I think one of the most important things is to remember that you deserve to feel safe. And I think sometimes we forget that. We just think about the range of this behavior. 1 in 3 women experience that unwanted sexual attention. And especially if you're a racialized woman, a woman with a disability, a member of the 2S LGBTQ+ community, your rates are going to be higher. So I think it's really important for us to start seeing this as an issue and start looking at what we can do, all of us around, not just the person experiencing the violence, but those of us around who want this to stop.
There's a really specific component to these stories in that they're happening in public spaces. This isn't in the dark by yourself. This is on a bus or on transit or on the sidewalk with other people around. How does that change the effect that it has?
Well, you know, there's lots of different ways that people will respond to this, but I think we have to remember that it is abuse, it is harassment, and the kinds of effects can be things like vigilance, feeling afraid that it might happen again, being anxious, having trouble sleeping, any number of responses to trauma that happen, things like headaches, stomach aches, feeling that maybe you're not remembering things very well. And if you're already dealing with barriers, it could be accessibility barriers, financial barriers, it's going to be even worse for you. So those of us who are seeing this happen with our friends and family, let's be kind, let's be caring, let's be non-judgmental. Think about 2 or 3 places that we can refer somebody to help.
I want to pick up on that point. The Canadian Women's Foundation reported 1 in 5 victims of sexual assault felt blame or shame from their family or friends when they came forward and said, this is what happened to me. You say this is a systemic problem. What does that look like?
I mean, one of the things that we sometimes forget is how widespread abuse and harassment is for women and for gender diverse people. But 44% of women experience some form of abuse in their lifetimes from an intimate partner. So that doesn't even include what you get in the workplace, what you might get in public. Harassment is so common. And we see that, you know, it's because women and girls and gender diverse people don't get the rights and respect that they deserve. That's really the big problem. And it comes out in unsafety. But we can be a part of the solution. We can think about how we can turn from a bystander to somebody who actually actively supports. We can interrupt the behavior when we see it. We can support the person going through it. There's lots of tips and training out there that you can find. You can go to CanadianWomen.org to get just trained up on that yourself so you can be a part of the solution and not the problem.
Something specific to these events that happen in public spaces is that they often happen abruptly. And I remember somebody describing it to me. It was like being in a car accident. It happens, you go into shock, you try to carry on with the rest of your day. But as that shock wears off, you start to really feel and understand a bit more of what you experience. So what would you recommend that people do to help themselves if they find that this has happened to them?
Of course, there's no one right way, but this can help. This idea of remembering that your fear and you're upset in these moments, absolutely valid. We can feel blamed, we can feel shamed, we can feel that we were part of the problem, but telling yourself, no, I deserve to be safe, and the abuse, the harassment is the fault of the person abusing me. Second thing, reach out to a trusted source. There's the Assaulted Women's Helpline in Ontario, there's in BC, Battered Women's Support Center. You can call 211 to find what's available in your area. And of course, if you're facing that direct abuse right there, you can call emergency services or 911. You can call a friend or family member. You don't have to make a formal report to get the support you deserve. Third thing I would say, really recognize that you can create a safety plan. Think about what's going to make you feel safer in the moment. It could be programming some names and phones that you can just call right away. You can traveling with a buddy. You can do self-defense courses. This is tough because the truth is that it's not your fault and you shouldn't have to change your life, but it can help you feel better. And long term, what can you do? I'm involved with the Canadian Women's Foundation. That's empowering, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Think about the things long term that can make you feel better and safer. You deserve to feel safe.
Andrea, glad we're having this conversation today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.